What's up, guys? Reborn here. Welcome back to another episode of Oxygen Not Included in my Oceania playthrough series. I know, it's been a while. Let's go ahead and get this thing going. Alright, so in the last episode, we did a couple things. Main thing is we started a gas range, and we capped these two natural gas vents down here, just super simple captures. And then we also added a little extra power right here, just to use up that extra gas that we're getting now. By the way, I pulled up the Ani calculator, put the numbers in, and from these two natural gas geysers running constantly, we should be able to put that gas into two of these generators with a little extra in addition. So we're going to keep these two running indefinitely now. We have a lot more gas than that, though. So we have gas from down here, from these two oil wells. Then we got some from making petroleum. So we've got plenty of natural gas. We might go ahead and add some more natural gas generators. So the real question is, oh, we got something right here. We need to discover what this is. Dig over there. See what it is. So what was I saying? Right, so I need to know how much natural gas we're making out of here. Doesn't seem to be a whole lot, so I don't know. We might add another generator up there. Maybe if somebody else knows from two oil wells, how much natural gas do we get out of that? Is it enough for another generator? Can I add another generator up here for some more power? Will we be good? I might do it anyways, just to deplete some of this gas, because we're oversaturated over here. And we are kind of oversaturated here, but these are infinite storages because there's oil covering it up, so it will always release the gas into this area no matter how much is in there. Yeah. I think we'll go ahead and put another one in here just to use up some of that extra gas that we got. And there we go. Of course, add a little more power here on the line, and we got the piping here. We're just gonna share this vent. We could probably share with all three, but yeah, whatever. The other thing we did real quick was both of our metal volcanoes. We added some shipping rails and a battery to hold on to power from the turbines. And that'll just cool things off, cool metals off a little bit faster. Dump heat into there a little bit more efficiently, faster. All right, I think that pretty much catches us up. In today's episode, some of you may have noticed in the last episode or two that if you're paying really close attention, you probably would have seen it in one of the snippets or clips that I had. Our rocket is back. Our research rocket. It did its job. We got all of our data disks. We swept them off. This rocket, has been used, and it worked super good, super well. Today we need to build our deep space rocket and start exploring deep space. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to go with a petroleum engine, but apparently my ladders are in the way or something here. There we go. Man, that thing is huge. All right, so purpose of this rocket. I've designed this thing. I don't know if it's the best design or not, but my idea was, let's send this thing out as far and as long as we can. Last time I made this rocket, I explored the whole star map in 2 trips, if I remember correctly. Okay. Looks like our rocket is a little too high. I'm pretty sure somebody warned me about this. Let me go ahead and fix this. Okay. Let's see here. 35 tiles. That should do it. As I was saying, we're sending this bad boy as far as we can for as long as we can. So what are we gonna need? A lot of fuel. Basically, the whole rocket is gonna be fuel, which is pretty realistic, actually. Most of the rockets that we send up are all fuel. At least they used to be. All right, so we need large liquid cargo tanks. Wait, nope. Yep. Nope. Large liquid fuel tanks. That's what we need. Let's build 3 of these. We're gonna need a large oxidizer tank. And then we're gonna need a small oxidizer tank. Each of these tanks holds 900 kilos of fuel. And so what we need is half the amount of oxidizer to fuel. So if we have 3 tanks, then we need 1.5 tanks, essentially, of oxidizers. That's what we're doing here. Let's keep building this up a bit. And then after this, we're going to need our Spacefarer module, of course. We're going to need a nose cone for sure. And we have space for 2 solar panels. So we're going to add on a couple solar panels. Do I have the glass for it? Yes, I do. Fantastic. All right, let's just keep building these ladders up here. That way we can reach all these. Oh, these are granite ladders. That's not a good idea. Let's change all this to obsidian. Now that'll be good. These are granite too. Wait, what? That's not good. I don't know if we're gonna blast. Oh, these are obsidian. Okay. I was like, I could have sworn I made some out of obsidian. Let's switch these 2 out since they're the hottest ones. We actually might do a couple. There we go, just to be safe in case we repurpose this rocket. So I guess if these ladders are right here, the rocket's not going to be able to blast off because it's blocked by ladders for some reason. I don't know. Maybe we should try it and see. We couldn't build it with the ladders in the way, but maybe it'll blast off. We'll keep that in mind. Actually, you know what? No, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do it. And then we'll leave like a ladder segment or 2 over here so that they can reach over a little. No. Here, let's just cancel all this. Cancel all that. And then we're going to destroy buildings. There we go. All right, that should do it. Just gotta let them do it. Now, as it turns out, when you fuel up a small petroleum engine, you actually inject the fuel directly into the engine itself. However, for the large petroleum engine, it appears that it just uses fuel from these tanks. So we can get rid of those. They probably won't be able to reach them, actually, so never mind. We'll just cancel that and unplug it just to give it a little more cleaner look. So anyways, we'll fuel up this bottom one, then we'll swap the tanks around and fuel the other ones up as well. Which reminds me, let's make sure that we actually have petroleum ready to go. We got our petroleum line, 3 tanks of petroleum. We got lots and lots of petroleum. We're just going to connect it to these regular pipes here. So we just need a bridge right here. Boom. And then we can let in. We'll just let in the max amount. They'll fill up eventually. All right, while they're working on the stuff on the outside, let's go ahead and tear up the inside. Deconstruct. Let's get it done. Oh, wait, they probably can't actually reach it. Yeah, We need a few ladders built. Here, let's get these ones done. Then they can reach it. Real quick in the printing pod. We're actually going to take this researcher right here. We're gonna rename her because we already have an Ari. We'll go with Wimp. Researcher Wimp. Sure. This sounds good. We're about to send our 2 rocket pilots, who are researchers, out into space. So, we might send this one instead. It just depends on who's ready. Whoever's ready in time. Decreased science sucks, but +7 science up here, it'll be alright. It'll be fine. We just gotta make sure she doesn't escape the base. Don't be trying to leave, Researcher Wimp. Not yet. I'm pretty sure Operator Mima is good to go. She's been there for a while. 22 athletics. Alright, Mima. You're good to go. Get out of there. We'll let Researcher Wimp in here. There we go. Just need to do some scheduling. We'll have her work at night because she gets a bonus. Researcher Wimp. There you go. Plus bonus attributes while working at night. Good job. Should probably give Operator Mima some actual operating skill. Otherwise, she's just not going to be very good. Alright, looks like the interior of the rocket is ready for us to start having some fun building some stuff here. Let me go ahead and get some blueprints laid out. That way they can start building. It's going to be a little different from the one-person rocket. We're taking 2 people in this one so that we can use 2 telescopes and get space explored as quickly as possible. Let's get this stuff laid out. Alright, so here's what we're going to start with. It's just easier to explain this thing after we get it all built. So we just need to get some of these tiles built. Got a couple ladders here so I can get like pipes up in these corners and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and let them do some building here. All right. Looks like that pretty much does it here. We got our water in here. Let's make sure. Oh yes, fuel here. So all we got to do here is move this one up. These will swap, and the rest of the petroleum will fill this tank up. We've got our oxidizer. I think we're pretty much good to go. Just need to wait for this thing to fuel up here. All right, all fueled up. This bad boy goes 30 tiles in space. I think that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and crew this thing up, and we're gonna get this thing out of here. I'm gonna do double check everything real quick. This one we decided to use these storage tiles to help us out, since we've got them in the new update, so wanted to try to use them. But this one here is going to hold rad pills just in case we need them. And this one right here is going to hold some bleach stone for our hand sanitizer. All right, looks like our pilots are here. Let's take their suits off. Time to explore, baby. Let's just go straight up into orbit. This is actually a little bit of a mistake. Meant to discover this area so we could actually blast off out here, but looks like we can only go into orbit for now. We'll see if we can still telescope this thing here. All right. Begin the launch sequence. Yeah, boy, there it goes. We better close this thing up just in case we get hit by meteors again. We don't need to get destroyed by them. We'll block them since we can. Yep. We don't get any power whatsoever while we're just sitting in orbit. So we are building a telescope here, and we're gonna research. We don't have anybody that can do it. Bring the ship back. Clearly, I got a little too ahead of myself. Let's open these bunker doors back up. There we go. This'll just be a minute or two. We should probably refuel, and they probably already did the oxidizer. But yeah, we need some more petroleum just to make sure we can go as far as we can here when we actually blast off again. For real, this time. Looks like we just need about 180 kilos, so let's go ahead and pause it. 180, enter, reset amount. Easy peasy. Just need that telescope done. Telescoping. Alright, so looks like the star map is good to go. We just need to load our rocket back up. And we'll make sure they can actually eat berry sludge and all that stuff. Schedules, you know, the works. Okay, and here we go. Unequipped suits. Begin the launch sequence. I should probably unpause it. A little anticlimactic. All right, and away we go. Okay, so they're piloting. That's good. Alright, so everything I built in here was pretty warm. So what I did was I brought in not only some room temperature water, but I actually cooled it down a little bit. We want to look a little bit down here. I ran the water pipes through here to cool it off down to like 15 to 20 C. And that seemed to even out the temperature quite a bit. The contents inside are 25 C now. The walls are 25 C, so that worked out really nice. Everything in here was like 36 C, so it kind of just evened out. Alright, so like I was saying, we got these storage bins. We got some rad pills. We got some bleach stone for this here. We got this storage bin full of oxalite. This one's full of berry sludge so they can eat. For our rooms, we couldn't really do rooms like in the last rocket, so we just went with a mess hall and a washroom. We skipped the bedroom, or the, barracks, because it's only +1 morale. We get more morale from these two rooms. Apparently, these telescopes, they're not like, what do you call it? You have to remove conflicting buildings, but they're not industrial machinery. They're science buildings, I guess. So, still doesn't work. But, I don't know. Radiation sickness or something. Which reminds me, better make sure they can eat rad pills. That would be good. Rad pills are way over here. Yeah, rad pills. They can eat them if they need to. Hopefully they won't need to, though. Alright, so the main driver of this system is going to be our automation. We got two different sets of automation, basically. They're just side by side, so it looks like one giant thing, but it's really two separate things. So if we start from this wattage sensor here, this is just our notification to let us know that nothing is happening and that we need to redirect the ship. Send them off somewhere else. It's not exactly perfect, but it pretty much does what we need it to do here. This other side controls power flow, because while they're flying in space, let's go to the star map, they have the power from the engine and the solar panels. More than enough power. However, when they're stopped in this square, because they need to keep researching, or maybe we come over to this square over here and research all this, and they just gotta sit there. They only have power from the solar panels, which means there's only 120 watts, which means we can only run one telescope. We can't even run the gas filtration system, or oxygen filtration, which is giant this time, by the way. It's the same as the other rocket, it's just bigger. That way, if if they're stopped and all this carbon dioxide gets backed up, there's plenty of room for it to back up. We did the snaking thing with the water again, except it's just a toilet, and we're using hand sanitizer instead of a sink. So that'll last us even longer. Power, we just got power running down separately to this telescope, and then through this power shut off right here, and then to the mini gas pump and this telescope. So while there's enough power, this will allow power to come through everything. But if there's not enough power, it's going to cut off power here so they could just use the telescope, finish what they need to do, then we can blast the rocket off even farther into space. So, real quick, our notification. If there's less wattage than just using this gas pump, or just using this gas pump or less, it's going to notify us that nothing's being researched and nothing's happening. We got this filter gate set to 70 seconds just to give it time, and then this notifier brings us straight to the rocket. That's our notification system. This is our power shutoff system. While there's over 120 watts being used, this runs into a buffer gate for 5 seconds. Trust me, you need that, because sometimes they're not doing anything, and they just need a few seconds to actually get to the telescope. This runs into an XOR gate. What this does is, if it gets one and only one green signal, it'll send a green signal out. So, we just got our notification here. Because they can't do any research, so they haven't been doing any research. So we're just going to change destination now, drive them deeper into space, and eventually their notification will reset, and they'll continue researching. So as I was saying, this timer sensor is set for 2 seconds every 50 seconds. All this does is just reset this system. So if there's nobody on this telescope, this sends a green signal to trip it all up again. And if the power's available and the dupe is available, the other dupe will jump on this other telescope, and they'll both research. And that's pretty much it. The testing I've done has worked pretty well for the most part. I'm going to keep an eye on it just to make sure I didn't mess it up this time. But, yeah, they're researching, they're traveling through space, they're getting it done. That's exactly what we wanted. That was our goal. We have an extra storage bin. I just put it there just in case I needed it for something else. Didn't really think of anything, so it's just an empty storage bin. We can't make these rooms any smaller, or they won't be their rooms. So I couldn't really figure out a way with this design to make a bedroom, even with this waste of space right here. But it is what it is. So real quick, we're gonna go through these filters. Here's power again. Temperature's looking pretty solid. We got a rocket notification again, so let's go ahead and star map. It'll probably do that a bunch while we're heading into one of these corners, but I'd rather it do that and basically be automated than to have to control it and worry about it all the time. This just makes it a little bit easier, I think. We don't have any light. We don't have enough power, so I just didn't want to wire it up. Maybe there's a way, but all right. Here's the plumbing again. Air pipes, decor. Everything's made of gold again, and we got our tube, washroom, mess hall, automation. Just to double check. Yeah, this is below 61 watts. This one's above 120. This filter gate's set to 70 seconds. This buffer gate set to 5 seconds. This is an XOR gate. This is our notifier. I set it to pause and zoom. And then this is our timer sensor that trips it all back up to reset it. Set for 2 out of 50. And no shipping. These blocks are basically to block all the radiation as much as possible. I realized the reason I was having trouble with radiation with the other rocket is because I set the radiation to the hardest difficulty. So when they go to the bathroom, they don't ditch 100 rads. They only ditch like 25 or 30. So we just did the same scheduling thing here. Put them on different schedules so they're staggered a bit. But we still did bath times in the middle of their workday, so they dump rads twice a day. Probably don't need rad pills, but we got them here just in case. There's 95 of them. There should be plenty. So yeah, there we go. Deep space rocket. So far so good. They've got everything researched that they can until they get to this next tile, and they're just gonna keep on going, and we're going from here. Yeah, I think that'll do for this episode, guys. It was a big one. Now we can actually focus on doing some other stuff while they're out there researching or discovering space. But that'll be it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next episode. Later.